went to Sasebo, and then people are like, "Hey man, you should check out this command senior chief thing." So I don't know what that is. Bottom line is, I was told by a mass chief that I wouldn't succeed as a command senior chief, that I was too young, and then I would fail to get in the program. Kind of like many other things in my career, telling me what I'm not going to do, what I'm not going to become, just motivated me to say, "Oh, the hell with you! I'm going to give it a shot."
Yeah.
So I put a package together. The package was very different back in those days.
Yeah.
And then Rusty Staub, he was the submarine guy. He was the CTF 76 CMC at the time, and he's the one who called me when that message came out and says, "Hey, congratulations, you were selected for command senior chief." My first look. I don't know why the board selected me, and I don't even know how the process was back then. I don't even remember.
But it was strict. I think it was harder. It was much harder back then. I'll be honest with you guys.
I think it was probably. Oh yeah, I mean, I sat the command senior chief, command CMC board recently, a couple years ago, and yeah, I can only imagine how it was different back then. It was probably way more scrutinized, to tell you the truth. Yeah, absolutely, because especially for senior chiefs, right? Because the Navy was still new to this, putting senior chiefs in leadership positions. When they went on a limb to kind of see, can senior chiefs do it? And then I remember I called the detailer, and he says, "Where do you want to go?" I says, "I want to go on a frigate. I want a challenge. I wanted to leave Japan. I had enough Japan experience." And I told the detailer at the time, put me on a frigate anywhere in the world. And he's like, "I got an idea for you. How about the USS Patriot in Sasebo?" I'm like, "I don't want to stay in Japan." And I sure as hell didn't want to go on a minesweeper, a platform I knew nothing about. 100 people didn't seem like, at the time, a challenge. I wanted to go to a bigger ship. Went to the Patriot, kind of did what I was told. But the reason why I came a command senior chief, one, it was a challenge. I was pretty, like you, egotistically speaking, I thought I was a really good DCman. If you looked at my track record, we did really well on inspections. I knew my rate very well. I quoted the NSTMs, the 555. I loved it. I loved being a DCC and a DCS when ATG would come on board. I never shied away from that, ever. I wanted someone to come on board this shit and tell me where I was wrong. Yeah, good luck with that. And I did take hits. I did,
Yes, I do know.
And I took the hits personal.
Yeah.
Not professional. I took it personal. That's how much I love being a DCman. So I knew I was going to, do well as a DCman.
Yeah.
But I said, I'll give it a shot. 15 years later, here I am. So half of my career, I've been a CMC.
I get it, man. I look back on my career, so I retired at 25 years, and I went seeing. I was a senior enlisted leader. Like, I was at the schoolhouse for DC school, senior enlisted DC schoolhouse, but I was a cell there. But then I went CMC at 18 years, and I was CMC from 2016 till 2022 when I retired. But then, like you, chief in 06, most of my time I spent most of my career, half my career as a master chief, right? Because I was a master chief for 3 years before I went to CMC. I took that shore duty. I took that knee. I took the strategic knee. And because good for you coming off of a shore duty going into the program, because I feel bad for the guys that go from a ship right into the program, because this is where I'm not really a fan of this new advanced to rate thing, because guys are cooked, man, when they do a good job and get promoted, and now they got to wait. I feel like the Navy needs to be careful, manage their talent better, because guys, we'll let ourselves get burnt out. And then you get to the end of your career and you'll be like me and be shaking and crap all the time, and you got to take medicine and not shake, right? And it sucks. And it sucks. And that was part of why I chose to retire, because I was like, could I have done 5 more years? Yeah. But where would I have been at the end of that 5 years? And people like me and people like you don't know how to not try our hardest. And that was
even as I wind down my career now, there's not an on and off switch on me, I wish there was, because I have many examples and seen many people in the Navy who are like an on and off switch. I know a lot of CMCs that could turn that thing off and like, you know what, I'm retiring in 10 months. I don't really care. Like, what are they going to do to me kind of mentality. And then there's the flip side of, the CMCs that have done so much and are afraid to let go and is scared to let go. It is a switch, but I think it's been a great ride. And looking back, it's been really interesting, my career or your career, everyone. But everyone that makes a decision and make a choice, um, it's interesting.
It is. It's just, I will tell you that you don't do as much as you've done in your career without having. I mean, you handled it very well. I know that to be true. You had a very good supportive spouse, which is a huge game changer because not everybody has that blessing. You've been able to have 3 children that all have grown up and are doing well as adults now for the most part, and you're definitely continuing to do it your way, right? But there's also going to be a point where you start to unpack it all, and there's going to be some tough times, right? I just guarantee it, bro, because I believe one of my buddies, he was a retired DC senior chief. He just passed away not even a month ago. He retired right after I retired, died of a heart attack. You know, our bodies, our minds really go through those years of high stress and high op tempo and high worry and frustration. And for me, I really get pissed off when things aren't fair, right?